25 minutes now before the top of the hour. We continue. Late last night, the first shipment of U.S. weapons arriving in Israel, where American victims are among the innocent, murdered and held hostage by Hamas. GOP Senator Rand Paul sits on the Senate Homeland Security and Foreign Relations Committees. He's been read in, and he joins us now. Senators, you watch this live coverage. When we toss out to reporters, we don't know where this is going, but we know this. The Israelis are going into Gaza, something they hesitated to do, go deep in the past. How is this time different?
You know, I think the images are horrific. It's impossible not to have sympathy and just really outright emotion for, you know, what's going on, killing women and children.
And Americans.
And Americans. And, I mean, to think of these people somehow thinking they have a political cause that's going to be furthered by killing women and children. As you just reported, they're also killing workers that were there to actually help the Palestinians in Gaza. So it makes no sense at all, and I think it actually unifies the world. After 9/11, you know, the world became very unified behind America and against the jihadists that attacked us here in New York. I think the same is going to happen for Israel. Now, there are probably a few outliers within the Middle East who still aren't going to be sympathetic, but it's kind of hard for sympathy not to lie with, you know, people who are having their civilians killed.
The main foreign policy difference, and there's many between this administration and the previous one, is the outstretched hand to Iran. Instead of maximum pressure, it's let's go back to that nuclear deal. Let's have secret meetings in Oman. I'm going to look the other way as you start selling oil 500 times more than you were doing under the Trump administration, and knowing that they fund 70% of Iran, 70% of Hamas. What should American policy be as it relates to Iran right now?
You know, I think we have to look at what has happened, what's working, what's not working. So, for example, maximum pressure sounds good. We put more sanctions on, we walked away from the deal. But what has happened to enrichment since then? Actually, there's more enrichment. Iran is much closer to a nuclear weapon. And people also need to realize, they said, well, we'll just bomb their nuclear facilities. Once you get to 95, 98% enrichment of uranium, you need a cupful for a bomb. So you could have 20 bombs, or enough uranium for 20 bombs in 20 coffee cup full, you know, of uranium underneath mountains throughout Iran. It's very hard to bomb away their ability to have a nuclear weapon. It doesn't mean we shouldn't do everything we can to stop them, but it's not a simple solution. And every briefing I've ever been in, the military says we have no military ability to stop their nuclear program.
It seems like Israel does have assets in Iran. There's a lot of assassination of nuclear scientists. Is there any scenario where you think American troops should be involved in what's happening in Israel?
The only way American troops should ever be involved in war is through the constitutional process, you know, if Congress votes. And one of my pet peeves has been, since 9/11, Congress voted to go after those who attacked us on 9/11. I supported that. My father supported that. But then for the last 20 years, they've used it to be in Mali, Niger, Somalia, 20 different countries.
You want to vote everywhere?
Absolutely, because think about it. The young men and women, and I know young men and women from my town who serve and are going to be on the front lines in the infantry, they deserve a vote. If they're going to give up their life, they deserve a vote on to go into war.
But you know the problem with that is because these terror groups aren't they aren't countries. So they'll go in, form a terror network within a country. So we need a way to get in there with our special operators.
But I think here you could declare war on Hamas. I mean, you could do, you know, Israel is declared war on Hamas.
All right, so let's talk about your book. Nobody has been a greater fighter for justice and transparency during the COVID-19 pandemic than you, taking on that man, the biggest fraud, in my view. You have a brand new book called Deception, The Great Cover-Up. What is your approach to recap and also look forward to make sure what he was able to perpetrate on this country won't happen again?
I think the main thing people need to know is there was a vast cover-up through 8 different departments of government, hundreds and hundreds of people covering up the fact that we funded this research in China. So that's the first thing we need to get out there. We funded this research. But then when we look at this research, if we want to make sure it never happens again, we need more significant regulations on this gain of function, where they take 2 viruses, mix them together and say, hey, let's see if we can make Ebola more dangerous, or let's see if we can make the avian flu more deadly by making it aerosolized when it's not normally aerosolized. So this is still ongoing. Not only did we fund it in a totalitarian country, we're funding it in 12 different research facilities in the United States. So we should really look strongly at this, where scientists saying that this is a risk that civilization shouldn't take.
Your takeaway, what is everyone going to take away from the book that they didn't get from your testimony in the Senate?
that everything that Fauci testified to was a lie, and in private he admits that it's a lie. His own worst enemy, and who can refute him and actually make him liable to go to prison, is his own words in his private emails. Everything they said privately, they said the opposite publicly.
But you were the first one to call him out. There's blowback on you in the beginning, but now I think you're looking better every day. Senator, congratulations on the book.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.